The novel Light Falling on Bamboo is inspired by the life and times of Michel Jean Cazabon, Trinidad's most important 19th century painter. The thing also that inspired me particularly were the paintings, the watercolors and the oils, but also, very importantly, the community from which Michel Jean came. He came from what was called the free-colored community. Today, we would have called him a black man, but actually he comes from this very particular community of free-colored, mixed-race people. His ancestry comes from Guadeloupe and Martinique, who had settled in Trinidad, and they already had their freedom before emancipation. The drama of the novel explores his relationships with his patrons, the governor, rich planters, but also with his students, and particularly with particular women with whom he's drawn into romantic relationships. Michel Jean could never be sure whether what he felt was shared with his student. Their common silence, their mutual act, led him to believe, maybe wrongly, that it was shared. Only once did they turn towards each other and smile while saying nothing. At no time did she stamp her foot in irritation at not finding her way with the sweep and delicacy of the bamboos. She did not complain that she could not achieve their grandeur. She drew with her brush, a brush almost as slender as a pencil. They handed each other their work to judge. They looked at each other's paintings in silence, examining them. Then she said, "I would like to give you mine." Michel Jean answered immediately, "And mine is yours now, too." These create the tensions he feels as a young man in Trinidad, having left his wife and children in Paris, and trying to become an artist, trying to find work, but feeling he has to return to Paris to his wife and children. It was an easy climb beyond the Botanic Gardens into the gentle rise up Cotton Hill, where they had a view of the town of Port of Spain. Growing west towards the St. Clair estate and the sugarcane fields of Mucurapo with Mr. Devonish's estate at Peru. Lord Harris, who was the governor of Trinidad at the time, was Cazabon's most important and famous patron, and he commissioned many watercolors and oils. And when he left Trinidad, he brought those back to England with him, and they are housed at Belmont House in Kent. "I've arranged for plants to be sent from Belmont," he said. "Oh, excellent. You have extensive gardens there?" "It's a large acreage, including a paddock and shrubbery. There's a walled garden, stable yard, an extensive walnut tree walk. Modest, but splendid, if you see what I mean." So we have a skeletal biography of him. We know when he traveled to Trinidad, when he traveled back to Europe, when he went to live in Martinique and that kind of thing. But we don't have anything about the soul of the man. So that's really a gift to a novelist. It's a kind of carte blanche, you know. I can then write my story. He had not thought that Josie would have the patience to sit. They had their banter and fun as they prepared to begin. "I just want you to sit, Josie. You ain't want the whole of me? Josie, I know best. When we doing this kind of thing, I know best." "Okay, master, I go sit. And quiet too. Hold the position I give you, just so." She held her head at an oblique angle, crowned with a madras head tie of yellows, blues and browns, mingled plaids and checks. A low-cut embroidered muslin chemise hung off her shoulder, showing her brown skin, for which he had used madder brown, raw sienna, cobalt and black.